So, Tyranids, they like biomass, but they go through the galaxy eating worlds instead of just, farming like the rest of us civilized species have discovered. It would be pretty much game for everyone else if they just decided to, set up shop on a few worlds and then they have bases of operations. So if they get cut off, they, still have a world to just go, we're just going to send another hive fleet from the same world. So why don't they? It would just be a massive farm spawning endless legions of very scary aliens. But after going over some lore, looking over some stuff, I think I have a few reasons why they don't farm. None of this is, written in stones. The Gene Stealer didn't sit down and go, the Tyranids do not farm because of X. But this is all just using, inductive reasoning, I guess. So sit back and enjoy me ramble as I try to use my bug brain to figure out why these bug brains are doing this. First thing I want to get out the bat is I don't think the Tyranids are stupid. I think they're probably actually the second smartest faction behind maybe the Necrons and just pure processing power. So it's not like they don't see this strategy of farming. The first reason why I think they don't farm is they're not just going after biomass. They're also going after metals and gases, and last time I checked, steel doesn't really grow. And when a Tyranid invasion ends, all the surface level metals, at least 10 miles deep, are all absorbed as well with all the biomass. So it's not like the Tyranids aren't mining the planets to their proper amount as well. The second reason is I think the Tyranids are the ultimate predator. I think they are super aggressive. I think they do not make a good defensive faction. I mean, the Tyranids are designed, repeatedly called, a super predator. So it will attack, it will attack, it will attack. Also, this aspect of never stop attacking, it stops the push-pull aspect of war. Whereas if the Imperium was fighting something like Chaos or the Orcs, they could go and fight and gain a planet or lose a planet, but they can always go and retake it. Whereas with the Tyranids, if you lose a world, that world is gone. There is no retaking it. It isn't going to be cleansed by the Inquisition. It isn't going to be cleansed by Astartes killing orcs. It is gone. There is nothing left. All you have is a bunch of gases and material in orbit that has to be burned because it is covered in Tyranid biomass, which is quite infectious and may, turn half your population into purple people. And then, after that world is taken, if that fleet is defeated, there's a fleet behind that, and a fleet behind that will constantly push further and further and further until no more Imperium, or no more Empire, no more Tau, nothing. The third reason I would have to say is because the Gene Stealers and the Tyranids, are always in a state of hyper-evolution. It defines their faction, what they represent. And I feel like the hive mind sees sitting on a world defending it just infinite resource glitch as weak and kind of pathetic and just asking to get devoured. Because we also have to remember, the Tyranids, while they are united, are in a state of constant competition with one another. So let's say Tyranid Hive Fleet A decided, you know what, let's try this farming stuff. We've kept running into it. Maybe it's really effective. Set up a couple outposts, farm this land, and then just kind of have constant hive ships follow. And it's working pretty well. We're getting constant reinforcements to attack worlds. But Hive Fleet B shows up, and Hive Fleet B is full. It is traveling in one centralized group, and it shows up at Tyranid Hive Fleet A's outpost. Hive Fleet B is then going to land, destroy, and devour all of Hive Fleet A's outpost. Hive Fleet A is then probably going to get devoured itself, and then Hive Fleet B is going to turn around, talk to its bug buddies, and go, hey, Hive Mind, we just found this idiot Hive Fleet A. They were putting all their biomass on one world, and we got it all. So that's not an effective strategy. We're super good predators. This Hive Fleet sucks, though. Hive Fleet A sucks. Plus just the pure fact that setting up planetary farming operations, while not as expensive as industrialization, is still a massive investment of biomass, and you would need years to get a return on biomass besides just picking up everything. It's kind of like going into a company and going, we could fix the company, or we could just liquidate it, in literal sense here, and take all the assets. And the Tyranid Hive Fleet goes, liquidate it. You also have to remember as well, as you're setting up farming operations, you're at war with a faction that is very desperate, very scared, and looking for any way to hurt you. And they are going to see you massive farming operations and go, let's fire a couple exterminatus rounds at that. I mean, the Death Watch have a few protocols where they literally sneak in ships and blow the fuck out of planets. So those are my reasons why the Tyranids don't farm. It takes too long to set up, it's not competitive against other Tyranid hive fleets, and it doesn't give you all the materials you need to make a hive fleet. But let's zoom out on perspective real quick. The Tyranids are galaxy devourers, and they leave behind, husks. Except they don't take all the life, and all the metal, and all the gases. In the book, Belisarius called The Great Work, it takes place on a world that was devoured by the Tyranids, Sophis, or Sopher. I don't know. It was the planet of the scythes of the Emperor. And basically, what Call was talking about is, we can rebuild, we can terraform this world, and you can have life once again. There are metals deeper underground, we can get some water from local asteroids, and gas comes from volcanic eruptions. Because the Tyranids don't eat the entire world. They scrape off the top and they take all of that. So the Tyranids left, a world that can have life once again. Now, why wouldn't they eat the entire world? First off, it's really, really hard. Eating molten metal is quite difficult and not suitable to most living things' palates, unless you're maybe a Catan. But they left a couple Tyranids there that were basically just acting as scouts in the novel with Call, and Call fights them and kills them. And what I think that shows is the Tyranids are farming just on a much larger scale. If we treat each galaxy as its own field, and the Tyranids are just going through this field harvesting the life in it, well, I guess I was wrong. They do farm. It's just not on this small tactical level, just on a large strategic level. Hell, if you zoom out to a couple galaxies, I would probably assume that the Tyranids are moving in a circular motion, just going to the same galaxy over and over and over again, much like the Reapers from Mass Effect, only just on a larger scale. Anyway, that's my reasons why Tyranids don't farm, but actually farm on a much larger scale, but they do farm, but they don't farm. It's weird. Anyway, God, it's been a while since I made a 40k video. Jesus Christ, 8 months since Gelfrain? Oh my god. Anyway, I stream on Twitch sometimes. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. I love you.